Bitcoin from Scratch, Understanding the Digital Revolution, Episode 4, Security in Bitcoin. In this episode, we will analyze the security mechanisms that protect the Bitcoin network, focusing on cryptography, digital signatures, and the immutability of the blockchain. We will explore how these technologies work together to provide a secure and transparent system for all users, ensuring the integrity, privacy, and reliability of the Bitcoin ecosystem. Cryptography. The security of Bitcoin is based on public key cryptography, also known as asymmetric cryptography. This system uses a pair of keys, a public key and a private key. The public key functions as an address to which others can send Bitcoins, while the private key allows the owner to access and authorize transactions from that address. This mechanism ensures that only the legitimate owner can spend the funds associated with a specific address. The use of cryptography in Bitcoin guarantees that the process of sending and receiving funds is secure, even in a public and transparent environment. The mathematical foundation of this cryptographic system makes it extremely difficult for unauthorized parties to guess private keys, thus preventing theft and fraud. Public key cryptography is also essential for maintaining the integrity of the entire network. Each transaction relies on the robustness of this cryptographic system to ensure that no unauthorized changes can be made. Even if a malicious actor were to attempt to gain access, the computational difficulty involved in breaking the cryptographic encryption is immense, effectively protecting users and their funds. In addition, cryptography is used not only for securing transactions, but also for creating wallet addresses and ensuring the safe storage of Bitcoins. In addition to securing transactions, public key cryptography plays a crucial role in maintaining user privacy. Although all transactions are recorded on the public blockchain, the identities of users are not directly tied to their public keys. This means that, while transaction data is transparent and auditable, the real identities behind the transactions remain pseudonymous. This provides a layer of privacy that is important for many users, while still allowing for public verification of the transaction ledger. Users can interact within the network without revealing their true identity, which is a key element of Bitcoin's appeal, especially in contexts where financial privacy is valued. The cryptographic security of Bitcoin also provides resilience against attacks. Even if a hacker were to intercept the communication between two users, the encryption methods used in Bitcoin would make it virtually impossible for them to decipher the private key or manipulate the transaction. This is one of the reasons why Bitcoin is considered a highly secure digital currency compared to traditional payment systems that often rely on centralized databases and weaker security protocols. Digital signatures. Digital signatures guarantee the authenticity and integrity of transactions on the Bitcoin network. When a user wants to make a transaction, they use their private key to sign it digitally. The nodes in the network can verify the signature using the user's public key, confirming that the transaction comes from the legitimate owner and that it has not been altered during transmission. This ensures that the integrity of the transaction is maintained and that no malicious actor can tamper with the data after it has been signed by the owner. The process of creating a digital signature involves taking the transaction data and generating a hash, which is then encrypted with the sender's private key. This signed hash is included in the transaction and is used by nodes to verify its authenticity. If any part of the transaction data were to be changed, the signature would no longer be valid, and the nodes would reject the transaction. This mechanism ensures that transactions are both authentic and secure, preventing any attempts at altering the details of a transaction after it has been broadcast to the network. The use of digital signatures also protects against double spending. Double spending occurs when someone attempts to spend the same Bitcoin more than once. Because each transaction is digitally signed and verified by the network, any attempt to duplicate a transaction would be identified and rejected by the nodes. This helps maintain trust in the system and ensures that the same Bitcoin cannot be spent twice. The ability of the Bitcoin network to detect and prevent double spending is one of its most important features, ensuring that all transactions are unique and legitimate. Furthermore, digital signatures contribute to the efficiency of the network by providing a way to verify transactions without relying on centralized authorities. This decentralized verification process ensures that transactions are processed quickly and securely, without the need for intermediaries. The use of digital signatures also helps reduce the cost of transactions, as there is no need to pay third parties for verification services. This makes Bitcoin a more cost-effective solution for transferring value compared to traditional financial systems. Immutability of the blockchain. The Bitcoin blockchain is an immutable record of all transactions that have taken place. Each block contains a set of transactions and a hash of the previous block, creating a sequential chain. Modifying a transaction in a block would require altering all subsequent blocks and obtaining the consensus of the majority of the network, which is practically impossible due to the immense computational power that would be required. This immutability protects the integrity of the transaction history and prevents fraud such as double spending. The immutability of the blockchain is achieved through the use of cryptographic hashes. Each block's hash is generated based on the transactions it contains, along with the hash of the previous block. This means that any change in a block would alter its hash, breaking the chain and alerting the network to the tampering attempt. The decentralized nature of the Bitcoin network, with thousands of nodes storing copies of the blockchain, makes it incredibly resilient to such attacks, as an attacker would need to alter the blockchain on the majority of these nodes simultaneously. In addition, the proof-of-work mechanism used in mining adds another layer of security to the immutability of the blockchain. Mining requires solving complex mathematical puzzles that demand significant computational effort. Once a block is mined, it becomes part of the blockchain, and altering it would require redoing the proof of work not only for that block, but for all subsequent blocks. This makes tampering with the blockchain economically unfeasible, as the cost and resources required would far exceed the potential benefits. The immutable nature of the blockchain also fosters trust among users. Since the transaction history cannot be altered, users can be confident that the record of their transactions is accurate and secure. This transparency and trust are crucial for the adoption and continued growth of Bitcoin, as they provide users with the assurance that the system operates fairly and reliably. Users can verify for themselves that transactions are processed according to the protocol without interference or manipulation, which enhances confidence in Bitcoin as a means of value transfer. The decentralized consensus mechanism also contributes to the blockchain's immutability. Consensus is achieved when a majority of nodes agree on the state of the blockchain, ensuring that all participants have the same version of the ledger. This prevents any single entity from altering the transaction history for its own benefit. The consensus mechanism, combined with the cryptographic protections and proof of work, creates a secure, tamper-resistant system that is virtually impossible to compromise. Furthermore, blockchain immutability provides a foundation for building additional applications and smart contracts. Bitcoin's blockchain has inspired other blockchain-based projects that leverage its security and transparency features. For example, second-layer solutions like the Lightning Network build on Bitcoin's base layer to enable faster and more scalable transactions, all while benefiting from the security provided by the immutable blockchain. Objective: this episode aims to explain how Bitcoin uses cryptography, digital signatures, and blockchain immutability to protect transactions and prevent fraud, providing a clear understanding of the fundamentals of its security. By exploring these mechanisms, viewers will gain insight into why Bitcoin is considered one of the most secure digital systems ever created. Furthermore, this episode will help viewers appreciate the role of decentralization, consensus, and cryptographic techniques in building a resilient and trustworthy digital currency. Disclaimer: this content is educational in nature and does not constitute investment advice.